Hey everyone, Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Here with another one of my film breakdowns on a play that is a head scratcher. It's one of many plays that I just don't understand the choices we're making, decisions we're making. This comes from last week's game against the Saints. It's a situation where the Saints had the ball 3rd and 5, and for some reason we have one defensive tackle, one defensive lineman on the field. Now, granted, we've got a lot of injuries to the defensive line. Dex Lawrence is out for the year. Raheem Nunez-Roches missed the game. Jordan Riley missed the game. I understand that we're, pretty thin along defensive line, but this is a theme. Like, this is something that's been happening all year long. One of my earlier videos showed a time when we were back against the wall. We were on our 1 yard line with 2 defensive tackles, and the team just ran the ball on us right up the middle because we didn't have enough big bodies. Now, I don't know if that starts from the top, is that Joe Schoen just doesn't have us with enough big bodies to keep fresh in the game. Maybe that's a Shane problem. Is it a Brian Dable problem? Does he philosophically not believe we need a lot of defensive tackles and would rather have lighter, quicker people on the team and on the field? Is it a Shane Bowen problem? Is this just his scheme, how he has done things maybe at Tennessee and decides that's how he wants to do them here? But for whatever reason, we are terrible against the run. And one of the main reasons we're so bad against the run is because we find ourselves with 1 or 2 defensive tackles, defensive linemen, both of which are defensive tackles in many cases. And that's just not enough to stop the run. A lot of these outside linebacker, high money backer, hybrid strong safety linebacker types are on the field, and with some cornerbacks and safeties. And teams just like lick their chops and say, oh, is that who they're putting on the field against us? Let's run it down their throats. And they do. So here's a play where it was 3rd and 5. The Saints have the ball, 3rd and 5. And for reasons that I just can't fathom, we have 1 defensive lineman on the field. 1. So it seems to me that on 3rd and 5, there's a fairly good chance the other team's going to run, especially when they know how bad we are against the run. So here's the 1 defensive lineman. And it's not Dexter Lawrence, by the way, not all pro, all world defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. It's Elijah Chapman, who I like, who I think is going to be a good player one day. But he's not Superman. He's not going to be able to hold up against the entire interior offensive line of another team by himself. There's Brian Burns, there's Kayvon Thibodeau as our defensive ends. They're not defensive ends. They're outside linebackers. Then we have, on the second level, these 4 guys. You would like to think that would be 4 beefy inside linebacker types, wouldn't you? It's not. Stroman, Belton, okay, Micah McFadden, and basically defensive backs. These are people who are not even linebackers. So we have 1 defensive lineman and a lot of linebackers. And then these 4 guys who are 7 to 10 yards off the ball, which I don't quite understand on 3rd and 5, especially with this offensive alignment. Look at the alignment they're in. Like, this is everybody, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the whole team. And they're all within, 4 yards of the center, left or right. It's not like they got a wide receiver split wide who we have to worry about him going deep. Everybody's in the box. So if they have that many people in the box, why don't we? But instead, we've got 4 defensive backs, 7 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. And like I said, 1 defensive lineman. So let's take a quick look and see what happens. So let's just stop it right here. Again, defensive backs, you can tell that these wide receivers aren't, going to be a factor, but our defensive backs are still 7 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. At this point, the receivers are blocking clearly because Kamara already has the ball. This is a running play. Here's our defensive lineman, Elijah Chapman, being washed out. Here's Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau being washed out by in Brian Burns' case, by a tight end. They don't even respect him enough to put a lineman on him. They put a tight end on him who washes him inside. And here's our linebackers. Well, Micah McFadden is the linebacker, but the rest of them are getting blown up by much bigger bodies. I mean, I can't blame them for losing a hand-to-hand combat with somebody 70 pounds more than them, but that's what's happening. And so let's move forward a little bit further. Literally, their tight end just knocked Brian Burns into Kayvon Thibodeau. He's basically blocking both of our defensive ends, outside linebackers, by himself. There's Dane Belton, who was lined up as a linebacker, but is not. And finally, our defensive backs seem to be moving up. Now, I can't fully blame Adoree Jackson here because he had to contain so that Kamara doesn't bounce it outside and take it to the house, right? Like, He really couldn't overcommit inside. But where's everybody else? Again, it's 3rd and 5. Right now, here's Isaiah Simmons, linebacker-ish. First contact is at the first down marker. It's 3rd and 5, and the first person to touch him from the Giants touches him as he's picking up the first down. Now, we don't stop him there, but I'm just saying you'll see it in a minute from the other angle, but that's Tyler Nubin along with Isaiah Simmons finally making contact with him. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, but you're not stopping the first down. That's what you're not doing. And let's go get dragged for another 3 or 4 yards and turn this 3rd and 5 into a 9-yard run that picks up the first down quite easily. So again, what was the concept there? What were we trying to do? What did we want from our defense, given what the alignment they were in, and how they managed to just blow us up? So let's look at this same play now from the opposite angle. So here we see this is the exact same play. Look where our defensive end, Brian Burns, is, right? Just from alignment alone, there's no chance he can stop a running play here. I mean, look at the size of the people and the number of people that he's faced with. Here's our one lonely defensive tackle who's about to get blown up. And there's Kayvon Thibodeau, also overmatched. Why are all 4 of you back here? And again, this is Isaiah Simmons. This is Dane Belton. That's Micah McFadden. That's this new guy, Stroman, who just got, Micah McFadden didn't even know his name. So I can't really blame him. But he is a defensive back. And let's watch the play. So again, 3rd and 5. Like the goal is to make them punt, right? Or kick a long field goal. We don't want them picking up this first down. And there you see me pointing at what looks like a mass of white jerseys just blowing up our defense, excuse me. There's Kayvon Thibodeau There's Brian Burns being blown up by a tight end. Here's Kayvon Thibodeau, blocked by a tight end. Here's our linebackers, blocked by offensive linemen who didn't have anybody over them. Defensive backs still aren't moving. Literally, our defensive ends / outside linebackers blocked into each other by one tight end. And of course, again, here is Adoree Jackson saying, well, I can't crash down too hard because if he bounces outside, he takes it to the house. I get it. But where is everybody else? And why is this man on 3rd and 5? Now he's at the first down marker and being touched. So again, I just don't see it. There's Tyler Nubin getting dragged, as he often does. I know a lot of people like Tyler Nubin. I'm not nearly as big a Tyler Nubin fan as most people are. Potential, yes, but he's got a long way to go. Many of the plays that are long and successful plays against us, if you watch the tape and just follow Tyler Nubin, he was either the reason why it happened or certainly had nothing to do with why it wouldn't have happened. He's either out of position or he's not making the tackle most of the time. Yeah, he has a lot of tackles like that. Like if you look at that box score, it'll say Tyler Nubin made the tackle. Yes, 9 yards downfield on 3rd and 5. That's not a good play. Just because you made the tackle doesn't mean you made a good play. In any event, just my little, again, this is a small drop in a big bucket, right? There's a whole lot of things wrong with the Giants this year. I'm curious what you guys think. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you think about what I think about what seems to be a fairly consistent failure. So again, Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue, and I'm out.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.